Hi there, everyone. So today we are looking on page 5 of your Unit 4 packet, and we're going to be talking about long division, and potentially we'll get to synthetic division today, we'll see. But we're definitely going to be talking a lot about long division today, so make sure we're all on page 5. So I do give you a little bit of a description here of what we're going to be doing in terms of long division, but hopefully we do remember these steps. So you can read these on your own. I'm not going to go through these because, again, you probably remember these from last year. But if not, we're going to go through it. So I do give you just your first example of what a long division problem looks like. Now, if you remember when we did our sum and difference of cubes formula, I derived with you how to use long division and derive one of the formulas. So hopefully we have a little bit of a memory from that. And I have given the following polynomial. Okay, so divide the polynomial by the linear function. And again, you can see we always see x. Let me highlight here. X times what gets us to 6x cubed. And you see it's 6x squared. We then multiply back, which are those terms here. And then we subtract it out. All right, so again, this is just a little example, but let's actually get into some practice problems. And synthetic division is a little bit different. You can only do that with linear functions, which you'll see here for exercise 2. So again, we'll get to synthetic division in a bit. So let's just take a look at our very first exercise, exercise 3. So we're going to divide the polynomial, divide this polynomial by this trinomial. All right, yikes, but not bad. So let's write out, we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 is being divided into 2x to the 4th plus 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. You always want to make sure, are you missing any placeholders? And we're not, because if you see we have to the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and really over here would be x to the 0, but we never write that. Okay, so everything looks good. And now we're going to run through our process for long division. So we see x squared times what gets me to 2x to the 4th. So x squared times what is 2x to the 4th? Well, we definitely need to multiply by 2. And x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. When you multiply like bases, you add the exponents. Okay, you add the exponents, not multiply the exponents, you add them. So this would be 2x squared. So we have times 2x squared. We're going to multiply it back. Multiply it back. 2x squared times x squared is 2x to the 4th. Remember, we're always subtracting out. 2x squared times 2x is 4x cubed. And then 2x times negative 3. Sorry, 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. We distribute this negative. So distribute this negative. Make this minus. This becomes plus. And then we're just going to add vertically. So these terms cancel, and I'm left with x squared. All right, so far so good. Okay, now we want to see, oh, don't forget, sorry, we got to bring down our terms. Okay, we got to bring down our terms. And now we want to see, and I'll highlight this in purple, sure, x squared times what gets me to x squared? Well, that's just 1, right? X squared times 1 is just x squared. So we're going to write plus 1 here. And then we redistribute it back. Distribute it back to all the terms. We subtract out the difference. 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times 2x is positive 2x. And then 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And again, we're going to distribute. So this will become plus, minus, minus, plus, distribute. These cancel. These terms combine to just x. And you have a negative 2 plus 3 is positive 1. So this is our remainder. So we're going to write 2x squared plus 1 plus a remainder of x plus 1 over what we were dividing out by. X squared plus 2x minus 3. We could have also written it up here. X plus 1 over the x squared plus 2x minus 3. All right, so this is my answer. Dealing with the remainder, no problem. Okay, let's take a look at exercise 4. Exercise 4. So maybe you want to try to start this one off and then see if you get along the right solution with mine. So maybe start this one by yourselves. Okay, and I do already have my setup. There are no terms missing in here. We're not missing like an x squared term or an x term, right? Everything is all in there, so we don't have to worry about any of those placeholders. Okay, and again, you want to ask yourselves, x squared times what gets me to x cubed? X squared times what gets me to x cubed? Well, that's x. So we're going to multiply everything back by x. Multiply it all back. So I have x times x squared is x cubed. X times x is x squared. And then x times -6 is -6x. And we're going to subtract that out. So let me just erase this. And we're just going to subtract that out. All right, so we're going to do our keep, change to make this plus, minus, minus, plus. These terms cancel. We're left with 2x squared plus 2x. Bring down the -12. All right, so far so good. And now we want to see x squared times what gets me to 2x squared. X squared times what gets me to 2x squared? Well, 2. Multiply it all by a positive 2. So now we're going to go back and redistribute it. So redistribute the 2. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times x is positive 2x. And 2 times -6 is -12. And once we distribute this negative, so we make this plus, minus, minus, plus, you'll see everything cancels. There's no remainder. So that's my final answer, x plus 2. All right. Make sure you have this written. I'm going to erase this because I actually want to show you another cool way that we could have done this. All right, so just make sure that's written because I'm about to erase. And again, you can always pause the video to go back if you need. So if you guys notice how there was no remainder, right? That means this was divided evenly by our trinomial. So I could have also written it like this. Granted, we are practicing long division, but you're pre-calculus students, right? We have that upper hand, those higher level skills. So let's practice this. I actually noticed another way to do this, and maybe you did too, I don't know. I actually noticed this is factorable, right? If this divided evenly by this, then obviously it was factorable. So let's factor the denominator. That seems easiest to factor. So let's do that first. So I'm just going to do the denominator here. So we want to see what multiplies to -6. Multiplies to -6, but adds to a positive 1. Well, we have, let's see, x plus 3 and x minus 2. 3 times -2 is -6. -6. 3 minus 2 is positive 1. So that's correct. Those are the factors for the denominator. Now, this numerator can be factored by using grouping, right? I have 4 terms I could group. So I have x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 12. And let's see. Take out the x squared from the first 2. We're left with x plus 3. Take out the -4 from the last 2. And again, we should be left with x plus 3. If these things don't match, we did something wrong. We then get x squared minus 4 times x plus 3. And I actually even notice, does anybody see what can be factored further? So we're left with this right now, but that's not completely factored. Does anyone see it? Well, you can't factor the x plus 3. Can you factor this x squared minus 4? Yeah, this is dots. You'll have x plus 2 and x minus 2. And then this is x plus 3. Again, I'm just showing you another way that this could have been done. Granted, the whole point of today's lesson is long division, but I'm just showing you that if you were really stuck, this is another way you could have done it. And then we would see the x minus 2's cancel, the x plus 3's cancel, and would you look at what we're left with? X plus 2, which was what our answer was before. All right, so just another way to show you how to do this. Okay, let's take a look at exercise 5. So we're going to divide the polynomial. So divide this polynomial by this polynomial. So let's see. Divide the polynomials. All right. Well, again, I'm going to set up, right? You guys remember from like elementary school, what goes under the house? All right, so we have x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 15. All right. And we're just going to multiply everything throughout, right, as we have been doing before. So we're going to see x squared times what gets us to x cubed, and that's x. So we're going to multiply it back. Now be careful here. Be careful. X times x squared, so x times x squared is x cubed. X times 3 is 3x. I should not be putting my 3x here because look, these don't line up, right? I have x squared and 3x. They don't line up. So I'm not going to put that there. Okay, I'm not going to put the 3x here. I should be putting the 3x over here. All right, there's just that blank placeholder, right? Plus the 0x squared if you really want to put it. That's totally fine. We're going to distribute the negative. So this is going to become plus, minus, minus, minus. And these terms cancel. We have negative 5x squared. And these terms cancel. So I have really plus 0x minus 15. And again, we want to see. Let me erase this so we can now do our distribution again. So we want to see. X squared times what gets me to negative 5x squared? X squared times what gets me to negative 5x squared? Negative 5x. Oh, sorry, negative 5. Right? Just negative 5. So we're going to multiply everything back by this negative 5. So negative 5 times x squared, we always subtract out. We said that's negative 5x squared. And negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. Now, again, be careful. The negative 15 doesn't go here because these terms don't line up. We should be putting the negative 15 over here. So you could have put a placeholder in here from the very beginning. You could have written it like this. It's really your preference. I encourage you guys to do the placeholders, especially when you're dividing it out by the polynomial, but it's really your choice. I encourage you, though, to do it. All right, maybe I should have drawn it in for this example, so that way we don't fall into those mistakes of putting the terms in the wrong place. So again, this negative 5 times this positive 3 is a negative 15, so you need to make sure your terms line up. You could have written, again, plus a 0x here if you wanted. And let's say we have to distribute that negative. So this is going to become plus, plus, minus, plus, and you have no remainder. So that's my final answer, x minus 5. That's it, x minus 5. All right, let's move on. I definitely want to get to exercises 6 and 7. Today is all about long division, so we are focusing on the long division aspect. Tomorrow in class, we will focus on the synthetic division piece. All right, so we're just going to do this with long division. We're going to do both definitely by tomorrow we'll have done both. All right, so we're going to do long division. And I'll leave a little space for synthetic division here. Okay, you might want to do the same. All right, so let's just take this first example, exercise 6 together. So we have 2x plus 1 is being divided into, 2x plus 1 is being divided into this 4x cubed plus 16x squared minus 23x minus 15. And we want to see 2x, so 2x times what gets me to 4x cubed? 2x times what gets me to 4x cubed? And that would be 2x squared. So that's what's going to go up here, 2x squared. Okay, so now we want to multiply it back. Multiply this back. And we're always subtracting out. That's what long division is. So I have 2x squared. So let's write it here. 2x squared times 2x, we just said is 4x cubed. 2x squared times 1 is positive 2x squared. And we're just subtracting out the difference. Let's distribute our negative. Distribute that negative. These terms cancel, and we're left with 14x squared. Let's bring down the negative 23x. Alrighty, again, let's do it. We have 2x times what gets me to 14x squared? So 2x times what gets me to 14x squared? Well, that's 7x. So we would have plus 7x, and we need to redistribute. All right, I'm going to write a little smaller so I can fit all of this. So we have 7x times 2x is a positive 14x squared. 7x times 1 is positive 7x. And we distribute the negative. Distribute the negative. These terms go away. I have negative 30x. Bring down the negative 15. And let's keep going. We're almost there. 2x times what gets us to negative 30x? So 2x times what gets us to negative 30x? Well, that's negative 15. So we have minus 15. And we're going to multiply it back. So we have minus negative 30x minus 15. We're going to distribute that negative, and we're left with a remainder of 0. So this is our final answer. Okay, make sure you guys leave enough room on the page because we're going to do synthetic division tomorrow. We're going to do synthetic division tomorrow with this. All right, so make sure you have enough room on the page. All right, so that's it for long division. So I'm just going to clean this up and erase what we've got here. But your final answer here with long division for this question is 2x squared plus 7x minus 15, no remainder. So that's your final answer for exercise 6. Okay, let's take a look at exercise 7. So for exercise 7, again, we're using long division. We're going to do synthetic division tomorrow. So make sure you have enough room. So maybe I'll even write it up here that we're doing our long division up here. Okay, long division. Synthetic, leave on the side. We're going to do that tomorrow. So I have 2x minus 1, which goes into 6x squared minus 7x plus 3. And again, we want to see 2x times what gets me to 6x squared? 2x times what gets me to 6x squared? Well, that's 3x. So we have 3x. Don't forget, we always multiply back. 3x times 2x is, we just said, 6x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. And we need to distribute the negative. These terms cancel. I have negative 4x, bring down the positive 3. And again, we need to see 2x times what gets me to negative 4x? 2x times what gets me to negative 4x? Well, that's negative 2. So we have minus 2, and we need to redistribute it. So negative 2 times positive 2x is negative 4x, and negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. We need to distribute that negative. And here we go. These terms cancel. We're left with 1 as our remainder. So we have this 3x minus 2 plus 1 over 2x minus 1. That's my final answer. So I'll write it down here. 3x minus 2 plus 1 over 2x minus 1. That's our final answer. Alrighty, that's everything I have for us today. Tune in tomorrow. We are going to be continuing with this and doing some synthetic division. Talk to you later.